Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Nikki Zick from Nikki Zick Paints, and today we're doing mixed media postcards. Okay, now here's a close-up of a postcard that I just finished making using water-soluble crayons and watercolors, and it looks all diffused and I just love it. This is the last one I did, purple, but I did a pink and aqua colorway and a red and aqua colorway, but I really love the purple, so I'm going to show you how to do that today. And here's the set of water-soluble crayons that I'm working with. They're actually quite old and were given to me by my uncle, but they still work great. And I have a nice inexpensive set of watercolors that give a nice bright color, and we're going to get ready to go. So we're going to start in the upper left hand corner with our aqua rose, and we're using a 1/4-inch dagger brush, and this time we're not really doing our rose in the traditional format that we do with the smiley faces in the center. We could start off like that, but then I want you to go out and just make this rose abstract and fill it in with color, not too solid. I want to see a lot of transparency because that way we see the crayon color come through. Okay, here's our rose at the top, and this is wet on wet, so I'll do the rose on the bottom as well, so we could do our crayon markings at the same time. And just like I said, loose brush strokes using lots of water for transparency. Okay, now we're going to clean our brush and go into our artwork with a blue crayon. So now I'm going to just do indications of a flower, petals inside, and you can go outside a little with the crayon and just do very stylized rose flower. Just do little squiggly lines. I really like the way that looks. It's just a fun floral. Add a little more, because as it starts to dry, the lines get diffused within the paint. Okay, so we have 2 roses done. I'll show you closely how that looks. They're a little wet, but you could see. Now we'll go into the violet flower here, using the same 1/4-inch dagger, making sure our paint is more of a liquidy, watery consistency, more than a creamy consistency. We want it to be more watery. And the purple is usually very dark, so I'm trying to add a lot of water to it to get it to be more transparent. Okay, we don't want it too large because we do have to add leaves. Okay, now we're going to use the purple crayon, which I have here. I broke all my crayons in half because I like to get in there with the crayon, and otherwise it'll break if I press too hard. So here we're going around and around with squiggly lines for the purple flower. And then we have that. Okay, now we're going to go into the leaves, again with the 1/4-inch dagger. We're going into a nice apple green, which is nice and fresh. We'll do 1 leaf at the top, 2 leaf. Okay, then we'll go on the other side and give the purple flower a leaf. Be careful not to touch your flowers because they are still wet, and we really don't want bleeding with the green and the flowers. We want to blend the green with our background, as you'll see. So there we have our leaves. Now we're going to go in with the green crayon, a dark green crayon, and I'm going to draw a vein and then some spiny outside indication of a leaf, because this will all bleed and blend into my background later, so I want to have a lot of green of this crayon. A vein and then some spiny leaf on the outside. You can go outside of your paint line or your paint marking, like I said with the flowers, because it will blend. Okay, now we have our crayon marking on top of our leaves. Lastly, now we're going to go into our background. We're going to use a blue crayon that we used earlier, and we're going to use it on the diagonal and just do a slight crosshatch, very lightly, on the lower right, up the right. We're just going to have a heavy blue as my illustration that I did before. Heavy blue on one side, and this crayon, when water hits it, it gets highly concentrated. So be careful when you use your crayons. Do test pages and color swatches so you know how much paint to add and crayon to add. So now for the background, we're going to go in with a 3/8 inch dagger. So it's a little bit larger. Well, it's quite a bit larger. And we're just going to go in with some water. This is just plain water on top of the crayon. And just go up the edge with the plain water. Don't touch the leaves yet. Just go on with the blue. Go in between the flowers with plain water. You could drag it out into those leaves. We'll address them later. You could leave or blend away your crayon marks, whichever you prefer. I like the look of it, but here and there you could blend. If you have too much paint, you can remove, put water, blend away, lift, lift, lift here. Okay, now we're going to work on this side. We're going to blend so our green comes alive, and then our blue from our flower will come alive, just from the wet paintbrush. Now we'll go into the green again, and we'll pull it down. Clean the brush, pull more green down. We don't want it to get too muddy, so keep cleaning your brush. We'll go in here into the center, blend some violet down, blend some violet up. Okay, the green looks good. Good, mixing it with the aqua on the bottom. Pull the green up on the top, the blue down. And there you have it. A mixed media postcard using crayons and watercolor. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please hit subscribe. That way you'll get alerted of new videos that I post. Have a great day. Thank you and bye-bye.